most venerable Nayakadero and venerable members of the Sangha. So, with my heartiest respect to all the faith leaders, and we like to give our sincere thanks to all the volunteer ministers, behalf of all our religious leaders, and also Hadith always giving us this floor to express our ideas. So when it comes to Buddhism, it started 5th century BC, almost 2600 years ago, and there was a prince born into a palace, Prince Siddhartha. So his father was the king, and the father had the idea to give the kingdom to him and share his luxurious life. So the Prince Siddhartha experienced very luxurious life inside the palace, but when he went out, he understood that is not the reality in true life. So then he saw how people suffering and how people getting old, getting sick and dying, and but inside the palace he didn't see that anything. So then he started to question himself, what he see in this very moment as truth is not the truth, because there is something else happening. So then he went out of the palace and started to look what is the truth. So in that journey he went through all the ascetic practice and all the spiritual practice during that time, whatever used to be, but he didn't find it. And then finally himself he started to observe the very reality of the nature. So here the nature means that what he experienced himself. So then through that he understood something. The very nature of life is suffering. So suffering here means this unsatisfactory nature. So why we are suffering? We are born here and we are getting old, we are dying, and in between birth to death, it's a struggle. And as mature people, all of you know, you may have 1,000 wishes, but end of the day, 10,000 uncertain things happen to your life. So like that he understood the life never going to happen the way we want. Then he started to look backward and reverse his life, how this happened to him, how he came to this point. Then he understood the suffering because we born here. If you are not born here, no suffering. So then he started to look, how we born here? We born because we had a previous life. And then he understood there is a continuation in our life. So out of that then he started to look. The suffering happened because of the birth, and how the birth happened, how this continuation happened, that happened because of the desire. Why the desire? What is the mean desire? When we experience things out of our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, we start to hold it as something, me, mind like that, with the self-centered mind. So that we call the ignorance. So in the world, a lot of people know about the Buddhism, but when it comes to Buddhism, there is a culture, there is a tradition, and in schools, as a subject they study it, and in universities, they study Buddhism as a different kind of method. But when it comes to the very reality of the Buddha's teaching, it's about self-realization. So, in that way, the ignorance means here, not that you have lack of wisdom. So, ignorance means you misunderstand the very reality of the nature. So, why it happened? Because we already have inbuilt desire, greed, and because of that, we are not capable to understand the things as it is. That's why in Buddhism we teach meditation. When you are capable to understand the mind and relax itself and settle down, which we call the samadhi, undisturbed mind, you are capable to understand how things come to be as they are. That is the very way to get out of this all the suffering. So that is the brief, that the capsule of the Buddha's teaching when it comes to 5 minutes. But at the same time, we practice compassion, loving kindness and generosity as foundation. Why? According to the Buddha's teaching, there is nothing exists itself independently, separately. Everything interconnected. How we know that? There is no way you and me can be separated. Your inhalation is my exhalation. So what I inhale is your exhalation. So in between that, there is no separation. That's why we all are in the same field. We share in loving kindness and compassion.
Wow.
Thank you very much.